Okay, super. So let's get started, and I will record this session as well so that later on I can put it up on YouTube and on this thing on Instagram as well.
Awesome.
Super. Let's get started. So hello everybody, my name is Pavan Badllani. Welcome back to another very special live session of Inspire Me. Today we are here with the personal branding queen, Diya Asrani. And we are going to talk about our book, 30 Ways to Get Inspired. So a very warm welcome to you, Diya. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me on this. Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing to see this whole thing, how this whole book has also changed my life to some extent, that in terms of even reading the other stories in this book has really, really inspired me. So great job and great initiative by you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. It was a real honor, a real pleasure to have you there with this particular project. And, you know, there are many more ideas, many more collaboration also that we will keep working on when it comes to inspirational books, personal development, and, motivational stuff.
Yeah. Great. Awesome. I'll be more than happy to be a part of it.
Awesome. Super. So let me get started by, sharing a very small introduction about you for everyone. So just give me a moment, please. All right. So Diya is an award-winning personal branding and image expert, leader, designer, founder of Design Your Presence, author of Design Your Personal Brand Presence, and a passionate speaker and trainer. She is also one of the top 10 branding coaches worldwide, being noticed for her contribution to the training and coaching industry, having trained and worked with over 50 brands like Capgemini, IBM, Wipro, Indian School of Business, Go MMT, and Z Group. Diya has built her skills as one of the sought-after leaders in the industry. She has also worked with retail brands under Myntra and Arvind that has helped her grow her passion for brand presence building, which has led her to work with entrepreneurs, trainers, and coaches, helping them build their presence in the industry. Her mission is to help design their presence as the preferred choice for their clients for building their personal brands so that they can confidently showcase their strengths. Through her online courses, trainings, and group coaching, she is currently helping many build their brands successfully. Diya is known for her charismatic presence and creative leadership, which enables to get lifelong customers. As she has cracked this code, her mission is to help 1 lakh entrepreneurs master their presence and achieve the same. That's incredibly powerful.
Yeah, that is actually been something which it took me a while to actually come up with that whole thing. This is exactly what I want to do. And the whole thing about personal branding, right, was it was firstly a kind of a very, very new concept for a lot of people. You know, like a lot of people will think that, okay, personal branding means what? Branding hai, so it'll be something to do with logo, website, all those things. And then I wanted to change that narrative. I wanted to make it much more deeper than, just branding, right? So that's why I created this. And then it took me really some time to actually come up with this whole thing of, this mission to help a lot of people. And, now it's been a phenomenal journey. So yeah. Thank you for sharing my introduction.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. And, you've been through several different career options as well before you got here. And, when I went through your Instagram post, the updates also, I came to know that, you've been into Zumba fitness. You've been a DJ as well. And now becoming a personal branding expert. That's quite amazing.
It's actually more than anything, like, see, the Zumba part was more like there was this one phase in my life wherein, I thought, okay, training and coaching is not for me. And I used to think that, maybe I had to change my career. Maybe I had to do something else. So always been in that whole, frame of mind to do something so that, I can, get that financial freedom and all those things. And, like how every entrepreneur thinks, you want to try something new all the time. So
Right.
I tried that, and I thought that was something that would, work for me. But then at the same time, I was also thinking that no, maybe I'm more for the stage. Maybe I'm more for, speaking in front of crowds. So
Right.
that kind of pushed me from, not dancing on stage, but actually speaking on stage. That's the thing. And when
Right.
it comes to being a DJ, see, I do this as a passion. I am not, doing this as a, career right now, because
Right.
I feel that, of course, this is like to take away from the whole thing of doing business every day and, working, slogging and doing things every day. I now go ahead and, I use DJing as my way to, stress, to take the stress off me, in terms of whatever happens every other day in business. Because in business, nothing is actually, smooth.
Right.
You have to kind of work with the challenges, work with the obstacles and move forward. And then you see some results, then there are days you don't. So it's like always like that. So that's why I keep DJing, I keep music as, a part of what I do in terms of, just like therapy for me.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that has been my thing. So I just try to use my talents around and, kind of put it all together.
In
Yeah.
fact, the track which I also heard, like what you posted on Instagram, was amazing. It was so cool. I mean, I was thinking, why don't you do that more often? Keep releasing more tracks as well. That was
Yeah,
pretty
but
cool.
those tracks were actually like, see, they're by my favorite artists. I keep listening to music. Like that's my thing. When they say, right, research on business. Are how much to do? Because you're doing it all the time. But now when it comes to music, at least that little research I do, it, it's something different from what I'm doing every day. So yeah, I mean, see, as even when I advocate this whole thing of personal branding, that also is a huge thing when it comes to, embracing your other sides, the other part of you. It's not always about, going in that one direction, thinking of that. Yeah, of course you have to kind of focus on your goal finally, but there are other aspects of you also that you embrace. So I
True.
realized that, and then, I'm like, okay, maybe music is one of the ways to, kind of embrace myself in a better way. And a lot of people have figured this out recently, that, I'm into all this. So it's like, I don't know, I've been in the music scene since 2006. So
2006.
yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So I've like taken it forward, but not particularly taken it forward like a career. So it's more like a passion, more like my side thing.
Superb. Superb. Super. All right. So let's get started. Now, if you can share a little bit about your contribution
Hmm.
for 30 Ways to Get Inspired, a little bit about your story for, the viewers watching here.
Yeah, I mean, when I like when you actually approached me for this, this whole thing, and I was like, okay, what am I going to write, and what am I going to put up to actually inspire people, because the whole idea was to inspire people. So I said the best thing to do is to just tell your story, because I also believe that success depends on the choices we make. I
Right.
mean, any kind of choice we make, it's how we see success. Now, success is not always about making money. It is also about what you do on the way, what step you take, what level you go to, how you grow yourself into a person that you want to be. So I
Right.
said, okay, why not I just blend this all together and change that perspective about how to, look at success. And when I wrote the story was something that it made me think like, wow, this is how far I've come, because so many times in the day-to-day things when we are doing, we tend to forget about what journey we have been through, because we
True.
constantly want to do something new, we want to grow, we want to change things, we want to, make more money. I mean, there are so many things that come with every single day's, choices we make.
Right.
So I said, I need to look back and see that, where did it all this begin, and it actually began for me personally. It kind of started when, I had that whole transition phase from, doing textile designing in, in college to moving into the training coaching industry, wherein my mom, she just told me one thing. She's like, Diya, don't let failure stop you from climbing another ladder.
Right.
She's like, it's not always about, because you did this for 4.5 years doesn't mean, this will work for you.
You have to continue, right?
You have to keep continuing. So I said, okay, maybe that is something that I need to share. And, because there are a lot of entrepreneurs who have this limiting belief that I have been doing this for so many years, but it's not working for me, or I've been doing this for so many years and I'm finding it difficult to switch careers. So at a very, very young age, even without even making much money or anything, I had actually moved, I switched careers, and I got into an industry at a very young age where people were not taking me very seriously. They were like, you're 22, yaar. How am I going to learn motivation from you? Come on, please understand that.
Right.
And I was like, okay, let me just give it a shot. And I took it as a challenge, more like more like a way to say that, no, Diya, this is how you can, move forward. And I worked on the skill. I worked on my training. I worked on my, on speaking to people. I was very low on confidence. I never really practiced public speaking and all that. It was just that, it came with the whole, training. So I did that. And then I realized this is my strength in terms of, helping people through my voice. Right. And one of the biggest things that I actually figured out was that people need this whole thing of understanding their own presence. That why do they exist in people's lives? There's a reason why they're doing certain things in a certain way. So in this book, I've kind of highlighted that aspect of how, this whole journey of my story, how it has actually unfolded. And it doesn't always have to be that, there's a certain rule that we have to follow. That, this is how we get, this is how we get successful. Those days of getting into engineering and, medicine and all that are gone. Like we don't follow that anymore. Even our parents have moved ahead with it. Like my dad's a doctor. Right. He's never even once told me that you should get into medicine. He has said that, Diyu, this is what you need to do. If you love what you do, just go and do it. That's the thing. So I always thought that, this is something that people need to, understand, that success is the choice you make. If you want to become a doctor, become a doctor. You want to become an engineer, become an engineer. But then don't look at it as a failure.
Right.
Every failure is an opportunity to try something new.
True.
And every failure is a benchmark to tell you, okay, now I can grow from here.
Absolutely.
So I just said, this is it. This is not going to be about me looking back and seeing in the past. Yeah, you look back and you see that, okay, where have you come from? But you also look and see that, how far you've come from what you did first. Like I was asked to leave my graduation. I was not, asked to even graduate in my design school. I had to just walk out. Yeah, I just had to walk out. But when I came to this whole thing of changing my industry and, changing everything, it was tough. I will not say that it was an easy thing for me. Right. But at the same time, I did think that, yeah, maybe, I need to give myself a chance. And that's what got me to, move forward.
Right. And it's also about, giving yourself a second chance, a new opportunity, and more importantly, changing our perspective on what is success, on what is failure, of how things actually are. Because many a times what happens today, or more importantly, I would say in the past 2 years, that a lot of people, they are trying something new. And if they are not getting success within the first time, second time or third time, they are giving up completely, saying that, okay, this is something which is not for me. I'm not going to work on it. Let me try out something else. So, hopping to different careers, different choices, although you are trying out a lot of things, but then that level of consistency.
Yeah, there's this thing called the learning loop. You know, like people say, okay, now this course here, so I will join here. I'll study NLP, I'll study branding, I'll study business, I'll study, digital coaching, I'll study technology. There's so many things. And then they only learn and it just becomes a loop. I learn again. But where is the implementation?
Correct.
What do you want to do to move forward? That is where the success comes in. See, learning is in abundance. We have so much of content, so much of knowledge around us today that we can learn anytime. Now it's freely available for us. But the fact is that when we don't apply it, then it becomes a problem.
Then there's stagnancy on a continuous basis then.
Yeah.
Super, super. Right. Okay. Next up, I would like to ask you, what was your experience like, when we were co-creating this entire book? What was your experience? What did you think?
Wow. So my experience was, of course, it was in all phenomenal, because I really, saw, I mean, it takes a while to actually put it in words in terms of your story. It takes a while to, kind of tell people this is what you do. And there is so many things that you have experienced that you are, you start thinking, okay, now which, what do I actually tell people? So
Correct.
to put it into words, that itself was like a big breakthrough for me, because it was something that where I was trying to tell people just by a few words that, this is how you can get inspired, that's the whole thing.
Right.
And I've heard a lot of people say these things that, I don't have a story to tell. I don't have a story to, share and inspire. But let me tell you one thing, that we all have something to share with people.
Right.
It doesn't have to always be that you have got to some place and you have experienced something in an industry that you have to go through. You can even be a starter. You can even be just out of college and you can tell a story. It's like that.
True.
So you have to just dig into that whole part, that aspect that changed you. And that's when I actually learned. And this was actually just few months after I wrote my book, when you had,
Right.
approached me. It was just few months after I wrote my book. So I was like, wow, I've just got it all fresh in my mind. So then how do I kind of mold that and to make that whole book into just few words?
Correct.
So, that also was one thing that kind of, it was a great change for me, great breakthrough for me in terms of that. So thank you very much for that.
My pleasure. Fantastic. I'm so glad that, you were a part of this project. And if you allow me, I would like to read a few lines from your chapter as well.
Yes, of course. Please. Go ahead.
Just a moment, please. Okay. Design Your Presence by Diya Asrani on page number 93.
I have the book with me also.
Yes. Super. Just a moment. Okay. So this is your chapter.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll read a few lines. Success is a journey that you choose to tread. Every step on the way designs your route towards that goal. When someone asks me, where did all this start? I lose myself in thought, wondering, okay, where did all this actually begin? This was when I quit textile design and stepped in the training and coaching industry as an image consultant at 22 in the year 2011. With the fear of speaking in front of a crowd or not even understanding the eye of image consulting, I took the leap and said, I don't want to be a textile designer. I want to help people design their presence instead. However exciting this sounded, I was still so raw and low on confidence. But that eagerness to lead people pushed me up the rickety ladder of success. I am Diya Asrani, and here's my story. Raw, real, and honest, as we need it to be. It's been quite a ride of breakthroughs, failures, trial and error, self-development, communicating with people, opening different doors, trying new things, and days when you just tell yourself, wait a minute, I could actually do this? Okay then. I would say these words to myself every single day until one day in the year 2017, I got fired from my 2-year lucrative job at a retail company. And that was the day I felt this was it, the end of my career.
Wow. You tell good stories, man. I can just say
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You just added all the the excitement and the suspense and everything. So yeah, great. I mean, when somebody reads that story and they tell me, and I'm like, okay, there's one point in time I used to find it not such a big deal, to really talk about what I do and how I've gotten here, and then I would compare myself many times where I would think that other people have their stories, which are much more, inspiring and everything. And I was like,
Right.
no, I mean, we all come up from somewhere, right? So why not, share it in whatever way that we can share it.
Absolutely. Like even the first page, once I completed reading that, it's like ending on a cliffhanger. You you want to read the next part. What happened?
Well, the story continues, I guess.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Fantastic. So next up, I would like to ask you, Diya, that what is the message that you would like to share with the audience from your story? And even apart from 30 Ways to Get Inspired, if there are any 3 book recommendations you can share with the audience.
Okay, so firstly, coming to the message, I would say something very simple would be that just take the leap of faith. Okay, because the faith that you have in yourself will be something that you will never forget for the rest of your life. Because that any faith that you want to, I would come again and say that, everyone believes in God to some extent. Everyone has different things, but then you forget that you have faith in yourself.
Right.
When you have faith in yourself, anything that you want to achieve out of your comfort zone is possible.
Right.
The best of the best people today in the industry are having their own limiting beliefs. Let's be honest, nobody's perfect here. Even the people who are the experts in the fields, we know the names, they also have their own limiting beliefs, but they just don't tell us.
Right.
But the fact is that if you're human, you will have it.
Right.
But now the chance over here is that with your limiting belief, do you also have faith in what you're doing? Do you have faith in what you want to take forward? So if I am a personal branding coach, I did not do business or marketing as a part of my certification or, in my school. I did not even touch numbers.
Right.
But today I know the in and out of how to build at least an online business, if not a traditional business.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's the thing that you look at yourself and say, okay, have faith. Because the thing is, we take this whole faith for granted. We tell everybody have faith in yourself, but we forget to have faith in ourselves. So that's the biggest thing of, being successful and, staying inspired. Because yes, of course, you'll have a lot of quotes, you'll have a lot of people who will inspire, you'll have a lot of people who will tell you things, stories, everything. And you might just get drowned in that. You might just drown in that whole thing of, everybody's inspiration. But bottom line is, we have to also understand that we need to inspire ourselves. And the best way to inspire ourselves is through faith.
True.
That's the thing.
Absolutely right. Right. We all need to, have faith in ourselves. And whenever we do lose faith in ourselves, in our goals, in our dreams, in our beliefs, we need to constantly remind ourselves that why we have started this, that we are on the path. And more importantly, take inspiration and not give up so easily. It's okay. It's normal to feel down, but it is not okay to actually stay there.
Yes. It's not okay. And when the minute you start saying that, oh, I don't know how to do this, I don't know, find out how you can do it. Figure a way that you can do it. I mean, like let's look at the example of what just happened. We had a technical glitch for our lives on Instagram. Right. But now with all that, we still made it happen.
Absolutely.
It is not that, we canceled it and said, let's do it some other time, because that's usually how the human mind works. It didn't work today, move on. But we have actually moved on by actually meeting live on another platform. So the thing is, you find a solution somehow. It might not be the best solution for you in your mind, but it will be a solution that makes you move forward.
True.
That is what will get you to your goal. I don't mind that, you face the obstacles. Everybody faces obstacles. You think the people who are earning so much money today, they haven't faced the obstacles. They went through something which got them to where they are today. It's not that it just happened all on a silver platter.
Right. And if it would have happened even on a silver platter, many of them would not have realized the value.
Exactly. That, how much it takes to actually get to where you are today.
True.
So yeah, faith is the key. Faith is the key. That's all I
Faith
can
is
say.
the key. Absolutely. Absolutely right. Super. Right. And any three book recommendations which
Oh
you would
yeah,
like to share?
yes. So one book which I really particularly love is called What I Know for Sure by Oprah Winfrey. Okay.
Okay.
This is again a complete, it's like a full book on just inspiration. The words she says, in fact, even at the back of the book, it says, I know for sure your journey begins with the choice to get up, step up, and live fully. She says
Right.
something as simple as this, which kind of, makes
Right.
you remind yourself that, hey, you're waking up for a purpose. Then I have the other book, which is, of course, Think Like a Monk, because Think Like a
Yes.
Monk by Jay Shetty is another very,
It's
very
one of my
inspiring.
favorites.
Yeah, one of my favorites too. I keep like going through it. You can just open a chapter, open a page, and you'll get some inspiration. It's there. That's the thing with this guy's book, because he's written really well, and it's like a one stop for everything to do with your personal development. Like
Right.
everything that you need to know. And of course, the third thing I couldn't help but say that this is my book, which is the Design Your
Absolutely.
Personal Brand Presence, where
Right.
it's got a lot of my story, a lot of success stories. I have actually interviewed a few coaches who have kind of been a part of this book. And the thing with this book is that this was, of course, my debut book, so it was my first
Right.
ever book that I wrote. And the thing is with this book is it's got a little bit of story, it's got a little bit of business and branding and everything mixed together, and it's a very, very quick read. Okay, so you can get inspired in just few pages. So yeah, I mean, I just thought, let me just have this opportunity to share this book as well.
For
Apart
sure.
from all the other books that we see in the market, everything's available in Amazon, so you can go and shop and get
For
inspired.
sure. Absolutely. Absolutely right. Super. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And I would encourage everyone to go ahead, get a copy of 30 Ways
Yes,
to Get Inspired, and more importantly, even get Diya's book, Design Your Presence.
I'll just put both over here. Get both.
Get both of them.
Buy both. So
Buy
in
both
fact,
of
even
them.
in my community, I have actually put this book as a gift for people. So
Wow.
when they go through a certain milestone in my coaching, I give
Right.
them this book along with my book. So yeah, your book has also gone to my community as well. Now they also
That's
know.
fantastic. That's so cool.
Yes, definitely.
Amazing. Amazing. Super. So, what we will be doing is that we will be sharing the link of our book, 30 Ways to Get Inspired, in our bio as well. So everybody can go ahead and, get their copy. From there, we have only 50 copies left in stock. So, place your order before it gets sold out completely. And next up, I would like to ask you that, what has been one biggest lesson that you would like to share with the audience from all of your journey? Apart from, what you've spoken about, that have faith in yourself, believe in yourself, take action. Any one message, because we all go through a lot of ups and downs, and this is the time when we require inspiration and motivation the most. So any message that you would like to share, even on a closing note now? Yeah.
So this was actually from a conversation I had with one of my clients. And when she asked me that, when is the right time where I can actually launch my services, do things for, people, help a lot of people, when is the time? And the first thing I said, there's no right time. Okay. And then she said this, she's like, but, I want to perfect everything that I do first before I can actually move forward. And that's when I said, don't focus on perfection, focus on excellence. And excellence meaning that you progress every day. You're making your mistakes, but you work on them. You move forward. You let those mistakes make you move forward and make a new move. So I would say that perfection has been one of the things that killed my success initially. Like I used to always think that, I had to perfectly get the whole selling thing, the whole, funnel thing, my products, my services. I thought I had to actually get everything perfect first, and then I had to launch myself. But when I realized that that is actually harming my whole growth in the process, it's making me, have this belief that, I'm not good enough. Because when you actually aim for perfection, the one main thing that people think is that I'm not there yet.
Right.
And we tend to tell ourselves that we're not there yet, and that doesn't allow us to launch.
True.
So that's when I faced that whole thing of, stopping myself and everything. And then I realized that this is something that I need to tell my, the people who listen to me. They're like, if you're working on perfection, stop right now. Work on excellence. Work on getting better at it every day. You're as good as your last session. You're as good as your last webinar. You're as good as your last live. You're as good as your last course. You're as good as your last everything. So, anything that you do, you're as good as your last one. So just work on making it better. That's all.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a little message.
That's incredibly inspiring. And I think we should all, stop chasing perfection and progressing, taking action towards our growth is far more important. Learning from that, growing, succeeding, more importantly, getting a coach, getting a mentor, getting the right mentor as well, who will help you succeed. Because many a times, people will go through mentors, people will go through coaches. Not everybody will be, perfect for them. But until and unless you find the perfect coach, find the perfect mentor, definitely keep trying.
Yeah.
So that, you will get the right guidance as well to succeed. And more importantly, you don't have to do everything by yourself. You can always get the help you need. The more we are in the state of analysis paralysis,
paralysis, yes.
Right. That, okay, I need to get everything to be perfect and then only things will work. We might end up wasting a lot of time.
Yeah. Which has happened to many of us. Yeah.
Right.
It's happened to many of us. Like, I mean, you stop, then you realize that, okay, I've come so far. And then, you realize that you're taking too much time on a certain thing. So it's like a constant loop again, this whole thing of perfection. And even when it comes to choosing your coach, choosing your trainer, yes, of course, everyone's version of a good coach, a great trainer is personal. It's not about because somebody saw results there, so I'm going to join there. Right. It's about what are your numbers, what are your results that really matter. Right. So, what is your biggest goal that you want to achieve that any coach or the coach that you choose would allow you to achieve it. That's the thing. So,
true.
Yeah.
True. Absolutely. Super. So this was an amazing conversation. I had the best time, connecting with you, Diya. Thank you.
Likewise, Pavan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much
for being here today, for sharing so many amazing pearls of wisdom of how we can become better versions of ourselves and how we can constantly stay inspired. Thank you so much once again for being here.
I'm so happy. Thank you so much for having me here. And it's been a great conversation. I mean, I've also learned while we are talking, I've also learned so much just from this one conversation. Amazing, Pavan. Thank you so much, and keep giving, like being a true giver that you are.
My pleasure. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
And looking forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Likewise. Bye.
Bye.